Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight you join us for Week 5 of PEC Esports action. Right now, Boise State is gearing up to go up against USC in the Rocket League match tonight, Monday. Seeing how it's also Monday in the beginning of the week, we wanted to get you another one of our PEC weekly shows with experts from all around the country to get a pulse on what is going on between all of the teams in the PEC and their thoughts toward Vegas as we enter the latter half of the season. I've got Grayson joining us from Michigan State and Jack Blink-Dumas from USC to give their takes on where their team stands and their overall view of the PEC playing field. Grayson, I'm going to start with you. If there's one thing I would think of for Michigan State, a phrase to describe your team, it would be the grass is always greener. Not just because, I mean, obviously your university has green color, but you have quite a record going on behind yourself. So much so that I'm hearing that a perfect season is quickly becoming a goal that Michigan State might be fighting for.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show again. It's my second time. I had a great time last time. And yeah, I mean, definitely a perfect season is within view. But for us, the way we define success for the season is going to be coming in that postseason over in April. So if we're able to do that with a clean sweep, so be it. But we're going to have some challenging matches here in the next couple of weeks that will, give us a good run for our money going into the postseason.
And just give us a quick overview of those challenging matches that you mentioned here. What are the teams that you have yet to go up against? Who you facing this week, and what are your hopes? How good are you feeling about this week's matches?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 3 matches over the next 2 weeks. So for this week, we play Nebraska, who finished second in the fall season, and they're definitely in that battle for second as well. The other team that's in that battle for second is Ohio State, who we're playing as well. And then third, we're running out our season with Syracuse. So all challenging teams. Syracuse in particular took us to a last stock in the fall season. So definitely between Nebraska, Ohio State, and Syracuse, we have our work cut out for us.
All right, so Blink, I have to ask you, big week for USC. You're facing off against Boise State this week and across all of the games in the PEC. I wanted to ask you, let's do a hypothetical and say USC manages to sweep it all against Boise State. Rocket League, Overwatch, Valorant, Smash Bros. Based on where USC is sitting in right now in the PEC rankings, what would that do for the team as a whole, momentum-wise, morale-wise, any angle you want to take it?
Yeah, well, I hate to break it to you, Jason, but it's already happening. We've already, not less than an hour ago, I was casting our Valorant match, and USC was able to take it 2-0. Winning maps on Split as well as Haven. So that's what I've been watching most closely due to casting, but our USC varsity Valorant roster is sitting at a 3-2 in the PEC, which is looking pretty good. As games, Overwatch is looking strong. They had a convincing 2-0 win against Ohio last week. That's why 2 of the teams that Grayson mentioned we've already had to face in the PEC. So a lot of our tougher matchups in these games have kind of been front-loaded in this season. And that win that I got to catch kind of the latter half of for Overwatch is enough for me to be convinced we could have a good chance heading in against Boise this week. As far as Smash Bros goes, USC is off to a rocky start, but with some new additions this semester, we have a pretty strong, talented lineup. And I think a lot of our matchup this Thursday will depend on who makes attendance on both sides.
Well, I would razz you more for calling me Jason, but as you also said, you picked up the W in today's game. So you know what? I'm going to let that be the final word on that. So you can say whatever you want. Meanwhile, Grayson, give us a view as the head Smash coach for Michigan State. You see a very interesting battle for second place sort of happening in Smash Bros right now. And if it's a very tight battle for second place, then I want you to give an award for the one team you see as most improved coming through this spring semester, someone who could really wow us in Vegas if they continue improving at the rate they have.
Okay. Well, off of that, I'm going to have to go with Boise State. And it's not just because you guys invite me on your guys' show, You guys have shown, honestly, I'm definitely a believer. With the addition of Mata this season, the Broncos have been showing a lot more consistency, especially being able to translate a lot of these close matches into some W's. So I'm curious to see how you guys handle the rest of your season. But I think I'm going to call it early on most improved. That's going to go over to you guys. But as far as the battle for second place, I kind of alluded to it before. For me, it's between Nebraska and Ohio State. Now we did see Ohio State beat Nebraska last week, so both teams are currently sitting at an identical 7-2 record, and 1-1 head-to-head split. And it's going to be kind of a dramatic finish. So both, like I said, both Nebraska and Ohio State are going to be going up against, me or Michigan State, and then Nebraska faces Syracuse, and then Ohio State plays Boise State. So both teams will be facing, will be taking us on, so they could potentially hand us our first loss while simultaneously claiming second place. So I think it's going to be a race to the finish for both Nebraska and Ohio State.
Blink, as far as Smash Bros go, you're currently trying to, stay out of last against Oklahoma. And if the team doesn't manage to really recover throughout this spring semester, all teams still are going to be going to Vegas, but of course how they perform is going to affect seeding, and you don't want to be seeded too low. Let's say that USC doesn't have the best finish toward their season. What specific advice are you giving the players of USC going into Vegas on how to turn it around?
Sure. For Smash Bros, I think USC could have had a stronger spring semester so far, but the team's feeling a lot more competitive than they did in the fall. Losses are close calls, and we're giving some stronger universities a run for their money. My biggest piece of advice as far as our mentality goes is to just keep working for it. I think with a little more practice, we have, like I said, some talented players looking to kind of find some cohesion as we build up for a big finish this season.
Now, Grayson, I got to ask you, your matches this week are against Syracuse, another big name that's kind of been looming over the PEC. But based on how they've performed throughout this semester, especially in Smash, we have seen kind of a little bit of a fall of what was expected of Syracuse. What is your pulse, since your team is going up against them this week, what is your pulse on what they've struggled with, and what things do they need to iron out in order to turn things around?
Yeah, well, I'm not in the room with the team, so I'm not sure if for Syracuse, if it's any kind of, mental thing with closing out games or closing out sets. But as we start to look ahead into the final stretch of the season, and then we have a long stretch of time, about a month of prep going into the playoffs. I would say for Syracuse, it's going to be up to trying new things. At least if I was in their shoes, they have a couple opportunities to play some of the toughest teams in the conference. So, I mean, their remaining schedule, they will be going up against Michigan State and Nebraska. So, they're going to be playing some really tough teams to round out the season. So, if I was on their team, I'd be looking, to seize momentum. I mean, like we saw in the fall, Syracuse did take Michigan State to last stock in one of their games, so they could definitely keep it competitive. So, I'd say going with the perspective of trying new things, so that you can try to glean something out of the remaining bit of the regular season. Maybe you can find something that can stick then for the playoffs come April.
All right, Blink, the final question that I have for tonight is USC could be a team that really surprised us in Vegas because of one little wild card variable that is thrown in. You are one of the universities in the PEC that is in the same time zone as Vegas. Boise State is 1 hour ahead in Mountain Time Zone, so there's a little bit of jet lag here. But the other university that we've been talking to tonight, Michigan State, is all the way over in the Eastern Time Zone, so they're going to be on a 3-hour differential when they're competing in Vegas. Do you think USC personally has what it takes to beat Michigan State if they're on 3 hours jet lag?
It's a great question, and I think jet lag is an interesting factor that I haven't given a lot of thought to. Sleep in general is definitely a fickle muse for most collegiate players, and I wouldn't be surprised if it had an effect on our matchups in Nevada. I think it'll be up to the other universities to kind of manage their own jet lag, and for us to definitely hit the ground running once our plan lands on that runway.
Well, we don't need to speculate too much because we have the spokesman from the other university right here with us. Grayson, what is your team going to be doing? Do you have a reply to that? How confident are you in Michigan State's traveling ability?
Well, I guess I'll say we'll see because fortunately our team will be traveling over to Hawaii for an invitational in March, about mid-March. So that'll give us a good pulse to see how we're able to quickly adjust to a large time zone difference. But all things, putting that aside, I'll say teams have surprised me in the past with their ability to bounce back with time zone changes. Like Blink said, they're college. A lot of them are college students, undergrad, or actually, I mean, they're all college students, right? Their sleep schedules are not great, just from what I know about them. So I wouldn't be surprised if it felt almost like a correction to a more normal schedule.
All right, well, we're going to leave it at that for this week. As I said, join us back here at Boise State Esports because we've got our Rocket League match coming up for Monday tonight. But I want to give one more thank you to Grayson and Blink for joining us this Monday. Thank you so much, and we wish you the best of luck in your matches this week. And welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. You join us for tonight's PEC Rocket League match where Boise State is set to go up against USC in the 5th of 7 weeks of PEC. So we're getting pretty close to the end of the season. Everyone has their eyes set on Vegas, but the Broncos want to have the best possible scoreline. They're currently 3-1. Can they make this a much better scoreline? Maybe looking at a 6-1 possibility. We're just going to have to see. We're going to answer the first step in that question tonight to make it a 4-1. Well, right here, my name's Jacob Palmer. I'm joined by Danner Hill, calling all the action as the Broncos go after that 4th win. Now, Danner, we were talking before the match with some representatives, from Michigan State, Grayson and Blink, Michigan State and USC respectively, but now getting the pulse on Boise State. We're trying to see how Boise State is going to be going into these last few matches because, as we mentioned during the pre-show, seeding is crucial. Yeah. You want to try, even if they can't, beat Michigan State, if Michigan State goes undefeated, still maintaining 2nd seed is still a pretty good place to be. So we want to win these last 3 games in the PEC season. So you had the chance to cast Boise State in the CRL recently. Based on what we saw from the Broncos there, how should we feel tonight?
I think we should feel very confident. I mean, in a giant double elimination bracket that they had to play through, they only lost to Maryville University, one of the top teams in the country right now, and they were still able to make it through that lower bracket, beating Mizzou in 4 and then making it to the top 8. I mean, top 8 in the country. They did an amazing job this weekend, and I still feel really confident about their gameplay.
Well, another reason I think the Broncos should be a little bit positive here is that we've actually got a little bit of support here in the arena for our Broncos. We've got Preston's family joining them, as well as the family dog Blue, and that's really going to be the secret to success here tonight. Once you got the family dog in there, you can't let her down.
No, you can't. You got to make sure that you can make everybody happy and really prove to them why you're here.
Well, how do you do that? Well, our own Doc Haskell has a little bit of an idea on how to perform at your best with Doc's keys to the game. And in Rocket League, that's going to be to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. It's all brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years of combined experience, they're proud to be Boise's go-to team of local, multi-generational painters who know exactly how to level up your home. If you're ready to transform your space, visit blueribbonpainting.net to schedule your free estimate. And of course, as we are talking about the lineup that Boise State is bringing to the table, we have got the old favorites, the old guard, as you can say, obviously with Preston's family here. Preston is going to be here, but we've also got Kate Hall and Emiliano Flores ready to jump on in.
And as you can see there, they're going to be coached at the very bottom by Peyton Wilkin, invaluable asset to the Boise State esports program. Very successful Rocket League content creator as well. So has a huge in-depth knowledge of this game. So as we're prepared to go up against USC, I was talking to some of the players a little bit earlier. Boise State played them at Infocom too. And they said on paper, USC is pretty good. But that's the big asterisk on paper. You know, you don't know how things are going to get, you know, when we get down to the actual field. Yeah, you can say that about any matchup, though. You can be like, on paper, this team should win, or on paper, this team is better. But when it comes down to the actual match, it's going to come down to the players. It's going to come down to how they're playing, how confident they are, and how they are as a team. And I think that last one is the biggest one because there are a lot of matches, just even speaking from our program and our experience too, there have been matches where we've gone in and you look at all the stats and where the players are ranked in their history and you're like, oh, easy win for us. But if they're not working together, that's the thing, you know. A group of so-so players that are working coherently at a team can beat a group of top-tier players who aren't working together. Exactly, and I like to make that same argument. It's like when you have a team full of synergy, even if they're lower ranks, they could probably beat a team of more mechanical players. Like, it's consistency over mechanics in my mind. Well, it's going to be decided all in 5 games, 5 at the most, but Boise State has been closing a lot of these out in a 3-0 sweep. Another little interesting bit of trivia I want to mention with Preston's family here. Preston's grandfather was an All-American lineman for USC. So we got a little bit of a house divided here thing going on here. Interesting. I'm sure, I mean, obviously he's going to be rooting for his grandkid. But, but it's like, it's easy. But that small part in his heart where he's like, oh, USC. I know. I know. Yeah. Well, you know, we all have, you know, family members who went to different universities. There are certain universities that, you know, kind of get that little bit of contention within myself, you know, that pop up as well. Yeah, nostalgia, that's the perfect word as well. But now it's not the time for nostalgia. The only thing that matters is tonight and whether Boise State wins this and goes on to 4-1. Now, we've been talking a little bit about the seeding, and the reason that's so important, in case any of you watching are new to Rocket League or how things work in a seeding contest, usually how it goes is there's 8 teams entering with the PEC. Who's ever seeded first gets matched up in the first round who's ever seeded 8th, and then 2nd to 7th. So obviously, if you come in seeded last, you're going to be going up against some of the toughest teams in the whole PEC league. It's just basically a complete uphill battle. You're thrown into the deep end instantly. Yeah, because one of the want to aim for at the end of those brackets is they want to get the best matchup possible in that grand final. They want to make sure it's the highest seeds in that grand final and to have the best matchup at the end. Boise State now just waiting on deck for USC to jump on into the match. Boise State sitting at a 3-1 scoreline. And as we are ready to jump on into the match, it's going to be the Broncos versus the Trojans here in Rocket League tonight. Can the Broncos make this a 4-game win streak after their unfortunate loss in the first week to Michigan State? They have a 3-game win streak right now. Can they make it 4 as we head on down to the field? Game already under play by 5 seconds, and Durtho has a huge bomber back toward the goal. That's going to be blocked, but already Boise State is putting pressure up against USC. Drawing circles, doesn't quite get the touch he wanted on that. BTR tries to go in. Woozy to play it around him, gain some ground back to Boise State. Can he center it? He can, but there's no follow-up quite yet. VTR a little awkward in the corner. Woozy just sticking on this ball even though he's already made his play, already made his rotation, just trying to make disruption as much as he can. Preston's going to have to take this one all the way back to the other corner. He's going to miss that touch. Vista with a control and a shot on net. It's going to be flick in! USC getting the first goal. Well, this isn't going to be an easy match. USC came here to play. Nice little juke around Preston, and Durtho a bit too far behind on the rotation. Boise State starts out down 1, but plenty of time left. You can see Durtho in the center. He's still vibing. He's still ready. This game's not over by a long shot. Oh yeah, it's only 30 seconds in. There's so much time to reevaluate, reassess, and try and figure it out next. Right now, this might be just Durtho's time. He's going to flip reset, pass out to Woozy, shot on net. Vista has to make the save, and he's going to. Back up to Preston though. Pinch onto net. It's going to go. Top right corner. What a response. Huge play by Preston. Very nice response here, and beautiful aim, upper right corner. That's about as narrow as you can thread it, and it still goes in.
Already a minute in. We're seeing a goal from each side. We go to this kickoff. Durtho's going to win it out. Vista with all the boosts. He's going to be able to get that corner away from Durtho. So Durtho's going to be left with 0. Preston trying to get one to the back wall. The BTR is going to send it out. Now Vista controlling, but has no boost. Durtho's going to grab that corner and try to control it out like he did just a moment ago. Maybe he's going to get around BTR. No. Now it's going to be Woozy's turn to try and collect this, but drawing circles is going to cut that out so fast. USC just trying to cut out any opportunity that Boise State has.
Preston had quite a dribble going on there, but wasn't able to find any sort of flip reset. Ran out of boost to boot. So now Boise State left to contest this in midfield. Vista gets clean contact on it, sends it to Boise State's corner. Durtho trying to deflect in some way. Now Preston up and off the wall. Spikes it down toward Durtho. They're playing a bit of a zigzag game here. Can Vista intercept it from them? Cannot, but BTR will keep it contested in midfield. As Boise State looks to recover, Preston keeping it away from the Trojans.
A little bit of a boost management problem right there. Preston had no boost challenge on that ball. Woozy just trying to do the best he can to keep it on the USC half. Preston right now just trying to send it high for a teammate. Durtho's going to send it out mid for Woozy. Touch the sidewall. Redirect. On target. Oh, it's going to be met by Durtho. Oh, that was almost an insane shot. Vista's going to take this one to the sidewall. Meeting Preston. He's going to get bumped for it. But still going to be into the power of Boise State. BTR tries to make the save. Woozy misses. Followed by Durtho. On target. Saved out by BTR.
Very good defense by USC. They've been catching a lot of Boise State's follow-ups. Now Preston, fresh on the 100 boost, is going to try to make a play for this and a clear, but he uses all of it, so falls down to the ground. Durtho, though. Durtho move.
Great coordination play. Preston gets it out, uses all of his boost, leaves it to Durtho, and gets the tight angle. Oh, beautiful double tap.
Boise State now in the lead at halftime. 2 minutes, 32 seconds left on the clock. Now Woozy goes in on the 50. Neither one of them gets good contact, but Durtho is waiting for it. Off the wall, redirect. Can he center it? BTR will try to keep it contested as Preston now retreating into the corner. Preston now going with the dribble. Pass to Durtho on the goal. And another one. The backboard. And Durtho has that yet again.
Back-to-back double taps, and it's again the combo. Preston to Durtho, just leaving it open. VTR tries to challenge this one, doesn't read it quite right. And that one's going to go to the far right side, putting Boise State up 3-1.
2 minutes, 13 seconds left. USC trying to mount some sort of comeback. Vista ready to get a clean shot back toward Boise State's goal. Durtho has the save. Nice read by him. Drawing circles now, centered shot, trying to go toward the crossbar, but Preston has the defense, places it back in midfield. Woozy ready to take it from him, try to push it into the goal. Durtho has the follow-up, and it'll just be pushed off to the side for now as Boise State slow plays this.
Ooh, almost an opportunity with that pinch towards mid. Woozy has a full ticket boost. He's going to take it to the ceiling. Maybe a pinch down. He's going to get a shot on. It's going to go off the hood of Vista. And a fourth goal for Boise State.
This is, you said, a pinch down right onto the ground. Gets an angle that USC just, it actually wasn't even a pinch. That was just, he was so accurate in the redirect itself. He doesn't need the ground to help him. That's how good he is.
No, but the other thing was that nobody challenged that, so he had all the time in the world to make that play.
Boise State now up 4-1, what they hope to be at the end of the night. They're hoping that they're 4-1 overall. But as for this game right now, things looking great for the Broncos, though Vista has a good dribble. Puts it toward Boise State's front post. Preston keeping it away from drawing circles. BTR had a shot on goal, but very quick block by Boise State. Durtho, Preston actually gets the demo on drawing. Oh, what an angle! Oh, he is on fire with the angles now.
Whole team tonight is just having a heyday. Woozy grabs that corner boost and just takes the immediate shot on. Vista not able to really see that one coming.
1 minute, 12 seconds left, and Boise State is up 5-1. And Preston with the cheat there sets it up for another one, but it's off to the side. But Boise State almost makes it 6-1 in lightning's fast time.
Now crunching down to the last 60 seconds. Durtho's going to be able to send this one out to just as far as drawing circles. Durtho's going to get a demo on that follow-up. Woozy sending it down, hoping for Durtho to meet this one. Instead, it's going to be Preston sending it to the corner. BTR gets one touch. Vista has nothing. Woozy had to be careful. Also able to grab that corner, continuing control. BTR just taking it to his other side of the court, just trying to keep control. Maybe a pass out to the mid for Woozy. It's going to fall down to cross the goal line. Preston bailed out, so no follow-up for Boise State to get a 6th.
Oh, Durtho comes in for another. VTR trying to mount some backboard defense. Gets it back to mid. Blocked by Preston. Off the wall, Preston now. Oh, he still finds a way to flick forward. He was out of boost, but he used the last little bit of control he had to put another shot on goal. Now we got 10 seconds left, and at this point, it is a surefire thing. Boise State will win against USC in game 1, 5-1. What an opening. Yeah, you weren't kidding when you said we should feel good about Boise State. And,
yeah.
And these stats only back that up. 70% of the total shots on goal.
Yeah, they're having a weekend right now. I mean, making top 8 in CRL, one of the biggest tournaments for Collegiate Rocket League, is insane. Getting a lot of points calculated to them towards the end of the season, and now coming into this PEC matchup, they are on fire.
Which also is very important, because another reminder of why you should tune in every single day. You know, catch us on the weekends when stuff like CRL is going on. But for those who didn't make it to CRL, every set of rounds that they have, depending on how good you finish in that round, you get a set of points. And those points add up for the whole tournament. Boise State got off to a bit of a slow start with only 2 points in the first round, I believe. So them finishing so good last week really is, you can tell by the way they're playing. They are energized. They're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, in the first week, they placed well enough to get 2 points to their record. Second tournament, they didn't quite do as good, so no points calculated there. But last weekend, getting 3 to their name, I believe, or probably even more. Regardless, though, they played out of their minds, doing an amazing job. But now they're going to be looking into that 4th tournament, trying to get a little bit more.
And you're trying to finish in the top half of teams.
I think it's like top 8 or top 10.
Yeah. So every point matters. It's not in battle for first, but the battle for 10th, really, you know.
Absolutely.
You just got to be better than the one person who's going to get knocked out. Keep moving and take it one game at a time. All right, off to the corner we go, and Preston already trying to put a shot on goal, drawing circles, place it over toward the left side of the field, but Woozy takes it away from him. Durtho and Preston back on the field, though. They can't follow up. Vista now trying to go past Durtho. Preston reads it well. Now comes Woozy for the shot, but it's a bit wide to the left. Preston places another follow-up, and it's off the back post. Boise State, though, off to a very fast start in the first 30 seconds. Durtho, what a save! One, and the saves are so clutch for USC thus far.
You can tell that they really talked during that last minute to really try and get a new game plan going for USC. Durtho trying to read this one quick. Woozy trying to follow up with the little boost he has. VTR not able to make that read. Vista has to dive in, and he's going to. VTR, he gets bumped, so he's going to be sent out to the mid. Left for Preston. Corner read. He's going to go on target, maybe fall for Woozy. No. Great save out of Vista. Already not even a minute in. Vista has a savior medal.
Off we go as Boise State passes. They still have 240 seconds left to score a goal. And now Vista with the backboard defense trying to play off drawing circles, but the pass doesn't go through. Durtho is all too eager to take it with Preston off the back. Trying the dunk down, but he can't get it. But Woozy, then Durtho. Oh no! Not it's been so stinking close.
Goal line save after goal line save. It is nail biting. You would think with how much pressure is putting on USC, there's got to be something that goes in. And maybe this is it. Woozy to the backboard. Going for the double. He's going to get it. Woo! Boise State getting the first goal of game 2.
Woozy with a great dribble. Actually just reads it perfectly off the backboard. Gets the first one for Boise State. But plenty of time left. 206 seconds left, according to my tally. So still plenty of time for USC to fight back.
50 into the corner. Durtho's going to play this one slow. Takes one to the side. Gets a flipper set, maybe towards the goal, but nothing. Vista trying to control the backward. Woozy with the shot. Oh, saved out by VTR. Once again, Preston continuing this drive. Maybe going for another one. It's going to go for a doozy on the side. Not wasting any time.
We got to see this again. He goes around the corner. I actually think, yeah, that's the Doomsy by Preston, landing it to put Boise State 2-0. Also, I should mention that Blue the dog was barking at the stage, so Preston heard and was properly motivated by the dog.
You love to hear it.
Oh! Talk about properly motivated. He gets an insane cheat. He's fresh on the boost and off right on the ground. Finds a nice worm burner into the goal.
That timing. Woozy's going to get a demo here. Durtho sending it high. Maybe a pass out to Woozy. No, it's going to be 50 out. Drawing circle, trying to read that one. Not going to happen. Preston playing the fake. He's going to try and wait for this corner boost to spawn and play up BTR. He's going to get around one. Try and play around Vista. Doesn't happen. Woozy now cheating on up. Getting a pitch out towards it. He's going to go. Bar down. Maybe no. Vista able to send it out.
Preston coming in for and saved by VTR. We're having a whole lot of problems by USC. They haven't been able to get a solid clear, as consistent blocks like that from Preston have just stopped things around midfield mark. Durtho will play off the ceiling, get a whole bunch of ground back. Vista tries to block, in goes Preston. Can't stop the momentum, however, but Woozy sure can. And he'll, well, you know, that's not the worst 50 Boise State. They get into the tap on it, but USC not putting toward the goal, unlike here, and Boise State will get the save.
They will get the save, and they're going to get a counterattack offense off of that. Bounce out of the corner. Durtho's going to wait this one out. Get a backflip on it. Maybe leave it for a teammate. No, VTR's going to be there first. Vista trying to put one on target. Says he's going to bounce off the post. Leave it for Durtho. He still has a lot of boost to play this one. Now also grabbing that mid. Controlled. Trying to go for just the donk. Oh, that one's going to bounce off the post. VTR sending it to the sidewall. Ooh, Preston fakes out one. Flip reset to the corner. Nothing. VTR able to send it out. Durtho has a lot of time to play this one to the corner and trying to keep this one out of his net. Boise State, though, 3-0 with a minute and a half left. They're looking good.
Oh, Durtho almost puts it in. Preston, maybe? Nope. Vista driving up midfield. Now drawing circles, tries to pop it on up, but he's not going to find it. Woozy takes it away from VTR. Now over to Durtho off, and it's going to go for... Oh, I thought for sure. Just got a little bit ahead of that one. But now we're down to the final minute.
You also have so much hope for Durtho to hit that double because of the other two he hit in the last game. You're hoping he could replicate a third one right now. This one's going to be sent out to the mids. VTR to the side. Well, Woozy not able to make connection with this one. Maybe not trying to get another one. Vista with another amazing save. VTR is going to get a demo on Woozy. Durtho trying to take it up to the sidewall. VTR trying to get an offense started for USC. Maybe to Vista. Shot on. Maybe looking for bumps and demos. Nothing though. Preston able to fall on this one and keep it out of his net.
30 seconds left. Woozy and Preston trying to juggle it between themselves. Drawing takes it. Very slow progress and not a lot to show for it. It's Boise State getting side control. Oh! The passes are immaculate, but the final shot isn't to be. But with 10 seconds left and a 3-goal lead, it is once again, I would say, probably a sure thing. Maybe one more goal. Can't pinch it off the wall. But still, a very solid showing in the Broncos in round 2 for this PEC match. They move on to match point.
They are getting daring with these passing plays, trying to pre-jump each other.
94% shots on goal.
Vista had one shot.
Oh, and Boise State, I'm counting, I think I counted 17 for Boise State. 17-1 shots on goal. Wow. That is side control if I've ever seen it.
That's domination.
It is. Boise State not letting the foot off the pedal for one moment.
No, not at all. I mean, they just kept up the pressure left and right. You would think more goals would have gone in after all those shots, but I mean, still leading that, keeping them scoreless throughout that game. I mean, what, having 7 unanswered goals now in this series going into game 3, they are playing out of their minds.
Well, I can't really say much more. That's the thing. I mean, the gameplay speaks for itself.
It does.
How many more times can you hear me try to rephrase the term Boise State is good?
Maybe start bringing other languages into it.
Yeah, maybe.
I still wouldn't. Boise State el bueno.
Muy bueno, I would say.
There you go.
But now, Boise State at the 3rd round at match point could close it out 3-0. VTR, nice follow-up on the kickoff, gets a bit of ground for USC to play with. Vista now ready to go in with the full boost. Off the wall, towards center, and drawing, can't get a good shot on goal. Doesn't have any boost to work with. VTR now moving in, but he is low on boost as well. As Boise State looking for the right moment to try to clear, but drawing circles gets a nice block.
Jotho's going to be able to send this one to the corner. It's going to be left out. Nobody's going to initially challenge this one. Woozy able to get good clear out. Jotho's going to cut on this one, making those unorthodox challenges. With 0 boost, he might be looking for Woozy, or at least Preston, to try and get a pass up, or maybe a pump, and it's going to be a shot by Preston, bottom of the corner. He's going to slot that one between 2 different defenders.
Nice call out by Durtho on front post, and Preston sees his opportunity past VTR, and Boise State is on the board. Oh, nope. Thought maybe Woozy would be there for a cheat, but in comes Preston. Quick follow-up, and Woozy off the crossbar, and Durtho trying to find a way to push it in, and it still doesn't go in. Maybe yet again off the backboard. Drawing circles gets good play back to midfield, but Boise State is going to stop. Woozy drills it on down into USC's goal, up 2-0.
Look at this. He pre-jumps before Durtho even hits it. Just like that, you're going to slot it between Vista and VTR, putting Boise State up by 2.
All right, we take a little moment to breathe here, as in the first minute, Boise State already up to a 2-goal lead. Preston, though, trying to make it 3, but doesn't quite have the follow-up from Woozy. Durtho ready to go in. Preston rotating back with Woozy. They're both low on boost. Woozy fills back up, and so does Preston, so I'd expect clear play to coming through just about now as Preston pass to Woozy in mid on the goal, and almost sneaks it in under the crossbars. Durtho comes in for another follow-up, forces USC to double commit to save it. And it's just starting to stack up yet again. The shots are
here it is.
in favor of the Broncos.
Here it is.
And this time, and Boise State gets their 3rd.
Oh, you can definitely tell that they're still carrying that momentum from this weekend, because in that Saturday matchup where they played through that double elim, there were plenty of matches where they got to this kind of point into game 2 of a best of 3, and the other team just forfeited. They said, GG's, have a good rest of your tournament.
Now, as we're ready to go into going past the 2nd minute of this match, about to go into minute 3 and 10 seconds. Durtho, oh, nice demo on the goal, almost leaves it open for him. Vista now ready to go, doesn't have anyone in his passing lane though, so he doesn't really have anyone to pass to, and Boise State looking to take it away. Quick shot on goal by the Trojans. I'm trying to make some sort of Trojan, like, horse pun, you know, like maybe they can come back and surprise us, but Boise State's already horses, so, you know, we're not going to be fooled. We can tell a fake horse.
That's true. And right now, you can tell who has the control. This one pinching out to the corner, read by Preston, going to be on target. Drawing circles, trying to save it out. Maybe a follow-up. No, it's going to be a... Oh, here it is! Selfless pass out to Woozy on the halfway mark.
Nice way to mark halftime of the game. Now 4-0 for the Broncos. All right, we take another deep breath. Realize we still have 210 seconds left to go. Still plenty of time for USC to come on back.
Plenty of time, but we're going to see what happens. Durtho controlling, trying to get this one to the corner. He's going to get it there. Woozy gets bombed. He's not able to follow up on this one. Preston, though, he's going to play this safe. Playing it slow off the wall, waits for that flip. He's going to take it. He's actually going to leave it for Durtho. Woozy already up, though. He's going to shot on. Not quite, but Boise State not relenting with the offense.
Preston, 50 against Drawing. Drawing gets good touch on it, but Boise State fighting on back as Durtho places one onto the goal. Gets his 5th shot on goal for the game. Boise State now 1 minute 50 seconds left. Durtho looking to stop this momentum by USC. Back on over to mid we go. Vista doesn't have too many to pass to. VTR though, huge redirect into an open Boise State goal.
This one just bouncing off the side. Well, Woozy not able to read that one. That's all right, though. Boise State, you can see that they're laughing it off. They're still in the good mood of things. Up by 3 with 1:41 left.
Off we go. Durtho trying to make the most of this dribble. Nice little flick to try to keep it centered. Woozy now. Oh, that might have been a good follow-up. Demo onto drawing circles as well. Boise State getting demo heavy right now. But might just be goal heavy. Oh. Got to recover from that one, but Durtho not stopping on the demos. My goodness, he's going all out. I mean, Boise State's going all out.
Yeah, that whole team, they don't care. They're having a great time. They're 4 up. Counting down to the last minute. Preston trying to get one towards target. It's going to bounce out mid. Drawing circles. Has to clear it out with the little boost he has. Preston sending this one all the way back into the hands of Durtho. It's going to get dunked on by Preston, but he's going to get that corner boost and stick with it to the sidewall. Taking it high. Flip reset. 50. Nothing much. Boozy trying to follow up quick on this one. Now it's his turn to control. Maybe getting it out to Durtho, who's pre-jumping, and he's going to go in! Wow!
As 2 defenders go for it, both of them coming at it. Oh, it goes both Vista and drawing. Oh, and it's not enough. Boise State still finds the goal, now up 5-1.
They're having the time of their lives right now. Durtho playing this on the sidewall, maybe not able to get the double, but Woozy's going to be able to follow up. It's going to go bounce in. Hat trick for Woozy and a 5-goal lead.
So now the only question is, I mean, it's pretty darn sure that Boise State is going to win this, but can they win it with the Brazil is the question.
Do we get to pack our bags again?
We just might. 36 seconds left. The best way to end a game with the Brazil. Let's see as VTR tries to get the redirect. Nice pass to midfield. They almost made sure it wasn't a Brazil, but now might be in Boise State's wheelhouse to fight on back as Durtho might have a breakaway play. Nope. VTR solid contact. 20 seconds left.
Durtho getting it. It's going to go on target. It's my fall in. No. Woozy maybe the tight angle shot. It's going to be Preston.
Yes.
And it's in!
The Brazil for Boise State in Game 3, their match point. What a way to end this against USC.
Woo! They're having a good time.
Well, 11 seconds left. At this point, not too much more to say except Brazil for Boise. Another Game 1 and another good week for Boise State Rocket League as this will officially make their win-loss record 4-1, keeping them solidly seated second in PEC. And a very nice performance all around by the Broncos. 82% shots on goal.
Wow. And we were talking about how they're 4 games in a row now winning. I think this is also their 4th game in a row sweeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really just kind of an uncharacteristic stumble out of the gate at the beginning of the season, but since then they've been dialed in.
Yeah, and this is perfect example what dialed in is.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are going to have a little bit of a break and then be back with a post-game interview with the man of the hour, Preston, who has his family here. Yep. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a word out of Blue as well, which I would certainly appreciate. So we'll be right back. Don't go away. Post-game interview coming up next.
Pinch towards mid. Woozy has a full take of boost. He's going to take to the ceiling. Maybe a pinch down. He's going to get a shot on. It's going to go off the hood of Vista. And a 4th goal for Boise State.
Just as you said, a pinch down right onto the ground. Gets an angle that USC it actually wasn't even a pinch. That was he was so accurate in the redirect.
Back where Woozy with the shot. Oh, saved out by BTR. Once again, Preston continuing this drive. Maybe going for another one. It's going to go for a doozy on the side. Not wasting any time. This one pinging out to the corner. Read by Preston. Going to be on target. Drawing circles, trying to save it out. Maybe a follow-up. No, it's going to be a here it is. Selfless pass out to Woozy on the halfway mark.
Nice way to mark the backboard. Drawing circles gets good play back to midfield, but Boise State is going to stop. Woozy drills it on down into USC's goal. Up 2-0.
Look at this. He pre-jumps before Durtho even hits it.
He's going to try to make a play for this and a clear, but he uses all of it, so falls down to the ground. Durtho, though. Durtho move.
Great coordination play. Preston gets it out, uses all of his boost, leaves it to
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
at Blue Ribbon Painting. We're proud to be a locally family-owned and operated business, dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's freshening up your home with interior or exterior painting, or tackling a commercial project, we've got you covered. When you choose Blue Ribbon Painting, you're not just hiring painters. You're getting a team that's committed to making your vision a reality. Call or text us at 208-369-2583 or visit us at blueribbonpainting.net. Your project deserves a blue ribbon finish.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance. It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Is your IT setup held together by duct tape and hope? Don't worry, Alpine IT Group has your back. We handle on-site support, service desks, cloud management, office phone systems, mobile device management, and more. And the best part, we can fix things remotely, so you can concentrate on your clients. Call Alpine IT Group at 1-888-720-4769 or visit alpineitgroup.com today. Scaling success together and completely duct tape free.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We just saw Boise State pick up a great win against USC in PEC Rocket League, making their scoreline 4-1 now. I'm here with the man of the hour. We've got Preston joining us. His family came out to cheer him on and definitely got a great show. So, Preston, first thing I want to know is, do you think, since you had such a good run in the CRL matches over the weekend, do you think that's put your team, it's gotten your team any sort of good momentum going on? I mean, what did that do for the overall team advancing so far in CRL for you over the weekend?
Definitely. I think it helped us out a lot. With our first two runs, we didn't do too great. We got 9th through 12th and then somewhere around top 32, somewhere around there. But finally getting top 8, making it to Sunday was definitely great. We all felt like something clicked finally, especially when we played Maryville. Though we did lose on Sunday, I think it was good. We're all glad that we got there and definitely helped us out in our match today.
Well, I mean, the match today was just kind of a runaway match. I mean, one of the rounds you had was 93 to 7 in the shots on goal. I think it was 17-1. So I mean, at that point with score lines like that, should anyone, should everyone be afraid of you? Is really the question in the PEC.
I think so. I think we're here to win it all. I don't think our goal is to not lose another match throughout the rest of the season. And I think, especially based off the way we played today, I think it's definitely possible.
Now, one thing I do want to ask you, the final question, from a scale of 0 to 100%, how much did blue in the arena contribute to the win tonight?
It's always nice to see blue. She can be a little bit loud sometimes, the crowd, cheering, barking for us, but I think she really added that extra bit of motivation. So I'd say 99%.
99%. I like to hear it. Well, that's it for Preston. Thank you so much for joining us for this post-game interview. Good luck in your 2 final weeks of PEC.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for joining us as well. But we've got a whole week of esports to get to in the PEC versus USC. Tune in tomorrow for our Overwatch match. But as for Monday, a Rocket League, we hope we brightened up your Monday with a Boise State win. We'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday. So see you then.